Welcome to Busy Bee Woodworking. Today we're going to dive in a little bit more into how we put on our hinges for our cabinet doors. So we create these jigs so we can get a proper layout for our hinges, and we can repeat this process so all of them come out in proper alignment. Now this one specifically is for a big 42-inch upper cabinet, so those larger size doors, you're going to want 3 hinges on those. And when you do that, we just find the center point, and that's what we start with, and we do the first drill for that. And then we go on to the edges, and you can put that where you like it. I just find it, simple enough just to line the jig edge from the Kreg jig to the edge of our created template here. Now we use the Kreg jig just like we would be doing an install on the actual door. We'll take the drill bit down, the Forstner, as well as the screw holes as far as we can down so we can get a good first overall drill. Once we've created that first overall template for the hinges, we're going to come back and we're going to drill all the way through our jig. So you want to put a piece of scrap wood below it, and then you can take your Forstner bit all the way through, as well as don't forget those screw holes, because we want those to extend through the jig as well. Now that completes the creation of those templates, and now you can see it here in use. So we're going to clamp it down to the cabinet door, and once we have it positioned properly, we can go ahead and hit the screw holes first. Now you want to set your drill depth though, so it'll go through just far enough that you need the hole for the screw. Now you can come back with the Forstner bit, and we just want to score the door just enough that creates a lip, so we can come back with the Forstner bit and insert it into that lip. Now that the Forstner bit hole is started, we can come back and actually create or finish off the drill here. Now you can see I'll freeze it here in a second, but you want to take it to the point where the Forstner bit depth is met. That will give you the proper depth for your cup. Now here's another great benefit to making these jigs. It's actually installing the hinge to the cabinet itself. Instead of fumbling around with a door or trying to figure out where this is going to end up, you can attach the hinges to the jig, lay them down on the cabinet to the point where you want your door, and now you know that that's where the screw holes will have to be. So then you can remove it, put your screw holes in, and come back and attach the hinges while they're still attached to the jig, and it will give you a proper layout, but it actually makes this task much easier. Now that you have your hinges tightened down to the cabinet, you can remove the hinges from the jig and leave them attached to the cabinet carcass. Now you can just flip the hinges open, put the door onto the hinges themselves, and attach the door to the cabinet. Well, I hope you found this video helpful and a little more in depth on how we actually make our jigs and use them, whether it's mounting to the door or actually mounting the hardware to the cabinet itself. But as you can see with this process, the hinges line up on every single cabinet per size, and they are in perfect line with each other. And that can really differentiate your quality compared to the competition. And this really speeds up that process without sacrificing that quality of work. So I hope you found this one helpful. The only tool really that you might not have is this Kreg jig. And I'll leave a link for it in the bottom. If you are looking for it, it does help us out if you use that, so thank you if you are. But overall, it's a pretty simple process. So I hope though you can go ahead and take this and use it on your own cabinet or maybe on your next upcoming job. If it's your first time here at the channel, welcome. We'd love to earn your subscription. And if you're returning, thank you for the continued support. It really is helping us out. And it's just nice to know that sharing this knowledge with other people is, beneficial for them. So feel free to leave comments if you have any questions on what we did, if you have any questions on materials used or anything like that, and we'll get those answered as quickly as possible. So until next time, thanks for buzzing by. Now you go make yourself some dust.